Here is a summary of what I learned in week 1. So when we speak, we hear words, we figure out their meanings, then we figure out the response, and then we speak back. For any of these to be done by computers, everything have to become numbers. So first, words need to be quantified, but not as one number, but a list of numbers. They represent different meanings. For example, one could be measuring the sentiment. One could be animacy. Is this an animal or an object? Then concreteness. Is this abstract or something physical? There could be 3,000 to 16,000 different meanings. So one word would need 3,000 to 16,000 numbers to represent. Once words become numbers, they can be added. So guess what? If you want to know the overall meaning within context, you just add them all up. No, I'm not lying. But with a caveat, not all the words have the same weight. Some words are more important than others. So each word will have different weights. So the overall meaning is a weighted average of all the words. The way to figure out the weights is handled by a mechanism called attention matrix. Once the contextual meaning is figured out, the next step is to figure out a response. This step is called feed-forward. This step checks for different features of a speech by analyzing all the meaning components. By mixing and combining those components differently, each process checks if certain features are present. For example, is this a question? A number will be calculated representing how strong the answer is. Mixing the components differently, it could be checking, is this a sentiment? Or, is this an unfinished clause? And so on. Only positive answers will impact the response. The negative ones will be muted. Then the next step is to create a response according to these features. Again, linearly mix and combine them. The result will be all those meanings needed for a response. But remember, it's not a word yet. There are meanings we need for a response. So the next step is to check the dictionary to map out the meanings to a word. So to summarize, words will be mapped to a dictionary, becoming numbers. Then they will be weighted average to create contextual meanings. The contextual meaning will be processed to generate a response, and the response will be mapped to a dictionary to map to an output word. But I have a lot of questions. For example, how to construct the dictionary, and what do they mean? How to figure out these weights? What is attention doing? How does feed-forward work? How to map meaning to a response? Then, how to map response to a word? Is this straight lookup? We will keep exploring